Hello, Longhorn.
Hello, Longhorn.
Hello, Longhorn.
Hello, Longhorn. This is a Texas Exes podcast introducing you to Longhorn entrepreneurs and business leaders. I'm Sara Light, and today we have two girls that are co-founders of Safely. They met while sophomores at the University of Texas, and now they are building a company to help women stay safe. And we have Megan Doyle. She got her BBA 2020 in marketing from McCombs, and Ashley Raymond got her BBA 2020 finance at McCombs, came back for her MSTC. Here are the co-founders of Safely. Thank you for coming. We're going to talk all about Safely today. And we start with why you guys chose the University of Texas. And it's always my favorite when a company starts at the University of Texas. And so I love these stories. So I'll just start with you, Megan. Why'd you choose UT?
So I'm from Texas, from Kerrville, which is a smaller town in the hill country that I feel like most people know about, but you never know. And I loved Texas and everything. And I knew that I'd applied to some schools out of state because I hadn't done a lot of traveling. So I thought as a senior in high school, the time would be to just move out and spread my wings and go like full force in a different state.
Yeah.
But that ended up not happening. And so I knew that I was going to go to UT. I didn't even apply to like a backup school or anything. I just wanted to go to UT. And yeah, it was something I didn't grow up like a die-hard Longhorn fan. My grandpa definitely is, but that really wasn't it. I just knew that it was a great school. And so that's where I wanted to be.
All right. So Ashley, why'd you choose UT?
So my family grew up going to A&M. Every single person pretty much in my family has gone to Texas A&M. And I always knew that I did not want to go to Texas A&M. And I don't know what it was inside me that wanted to go to UT. But when I thought of UT, I considered it more prestigious than A&M at the time.
Okay.
And I either wanted to go to UT or Pepperdine. I applied to both. In high school, I didn't have, the best grades or anything like that. I wasn't an automatic automatic admission into the University of Texas. My college counselor actually told me not to apply to the University of Texas, that I wouldn't get in.
I hate it when people say that.
Yeah.
I mean, they can put reality and say, hey, you should try because you never know, but don't apply. Terrible advice.
Exactly. And if I had never applied, I would have never known that I would have gotten in.
Yeah.
Fast forward to when I got in. And I was just so excited to go to UT and also got into Pepperdine as well, but decided ultimately I wanted to be a little bit closer to my family.
And your parents were probably like, awesome.
Yes.
It's a lot cheaper.
A lot cheaper, but I wanted to be far enough away. And then as soon as I told them I was going to UT, they told me they were going to move to Austin.
You're like, oh, cool.
I was like, yay, awesome. That's what every freshman going off to college wants to hear.
Yeah. And then you guys met sophomore year in a
Yes.
class?
Yes.
Okay. What was the class?
BA 324, and it's crazy to think back to if, Megan didn't go to UT or if I didn't choose UT, that we wouldn't have met and bonded over this mission. And we didn't go to college to start a safety company at all, but it ended up being like just exactly what it was meant to be.
What was the actual class?
It was an oral and written communication class. So it's a required class as part of McCombs programs. And it basically is speaking and grammar, but it's kind of easy. And then in McCombs, you have an average that you have to hit. And so a lot of people get rounded down, which makes the class considered difficult because you have to be perfect to basically get an A.
And so it wasn't even like it wasn't a start a business class, but as a project, you had to start a business?
Yes. So it was a required class within McCombs. We did a ton of different presentations. They'd give you a topic, and you'd have 5 minutes to come up with a presentation, and you'd have to go out in front of the class, wing it, really conquer your fear of stage fright if you had any. And it wasn't necessarily you're going into this class because you want to leave with a business. I don't think anyone else that went into the class started a company post-class, but for us it was different, and that's when we started our first company that ultimately failed. But then we launched Safely when we graduated. We didn't know each other at the time that we went into this project, which I think is something a lot of people don't understand. It's not like we were best friends thinking, hey, we should do this. We should all get together. But our professor, Dr. Goins, randomly put us together. We had a fifth member too on the team in the class project. Her name was Victoria. And when we finished, presenting, and we had also at the time, Dana had a friend who was able to 3D print us a little prototype and all of this stuff, the teacher was like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. I really like your business plan. And we thought, hey, like, how hard could it actually be to bring a product to market? How hard? It's not going to take that long. We can do it very quickly.
We'll make millions of dollars.
Like, we'll just launch it. We want one of these ourselves. Like, we have to create this device. And I think after that, and after all being so bonded over the mission and knowing that this could be a really cool idea for a product, we wanted just to figure out how to make it work. And we didn't know anything about entrepreneurship. I always joke that I didn't know how to spell entrepreneurship for like the first year. We didn't know how many incredible resources University of Texas has that just looking back, it's so cool to see that we kind of stumbled into this, and with the mission, knowing that we couldn't have done anything differently because we just wanted so badly to create something that would make a difference.
And so was it a pepper spray, or was that what it was?
Yeah, the first one was based around a pepper spray.
And so when you graduated, what did you think you were going to do, Ashley?
So at the time, Megan and some of the other team members were like, I'm going to do full-time, career path job. And I was going to do that too. And I had signed an offer from Dimensional Fund Advisors. So I studied finance. And the more that this first company was picking up and the more that I could see the vision for it, I was like, corporate America will always be there. Love corporate America. But if I don't try to do this, I'll never know what's going to happen. And went into Dimensional Fund Advisors, sat down with the team I was going to join, started crying and told them that I was not going to come work for DFA, and I was going to give this whole startup thing a shot. And so that's what my mindset was when I graduated. Shortly after, a ton of different things happened, and it became very real very quickly that this company was no longer going to be able to be around. And so whenever we made the really, really hard call to dissolve the first company, because there were some hurdles we couldn't overcome, went back to the drawing board of what do I want my life to look like, and thought, hey, there's this really cool program called the Masters of Science and Technology Commercialization here at UT.
MSTC.
Yes, yeah. MSTC, which is exactly all about starting a company and bringing a product to market. And so if I ever want to do anything in the future, why don't I try to apply for this program, really learn what it takes, because it's not just as simple as, hey, I have this product idea, we're going to get it in a few weeks.
Yeah.
And so got accepted to that, started that program, and then went back to the drawing board, worked at KSWLE part-time while I was in the program.
Which is the Kendra Scott Women's
Entrepreneurial
Leadership Institute. But everybody has acronyms here, so it's KSWLE.
Yes. It's a lot easier to pronounce that way.
It really is.
It really is. And then I was still talking to Megan, Margie, and Dana, and we all just still really felt like there's something in the safety space we could do. We missed the first time around, but if we redid it, what did we learn from the first company that we could start with another company, but also how could we make it successful and reach more people and really achieve our mission?
Okay, and so how'd you come up with the name Safely?
Ashley has a great story.
So for weeks, we were trying to figure out what we were going to call this new company. And we wanted something that we could have an umbrella of different offerings under and not just like a singular product. And I was out on a run one day and it just came to me and I thought, okay, it's going to be Safely. And then 2 weeks later, Kris Jenner announced that she is starting a company called Safely. And we were like, oh, good. And
great. It was a great name.
It's so
good that she came up with it.
So good that she came up with it. And luckily, her company was around cleaning products and not around safety in the sense of like personal safety, and called a trademark attorney who happened to be her trademark attorney.
Really?
Which is the craziest thing. Yes, that I was introduced to by one of the previous Texas Exes presidents.
What?
So very small world.
Like was it a president of our actual Texas Exes,
Yes.
the mothership, or was it one of the chapters?
I believe it was the mothership.
Okay, nobody else calls it that. I just called it, yeah. Okay.
And they were like, yeah, we can double check to make sure it's not like a conflict of interest, but we actually represent and have done the trademark work for that company.
Gosh.
And I can tell you that it's not going to be a conflict of interest since it's a different category.
Wow, sweet. It's the Texas Exes president. Do you remember his name?
I have to go look on
Okay,
LinkedIn.
but it was a Texas Ex connection that introduced you to the lawyer, and then now you get to
Yes.
use the word safely. And so you came up with safely. And what did you like? Because you knew you wanted to do a pepper spray still? Or was
Yes.
it more we want to do things to help women feel safe?
More, we want to do things to help women feel safe.
Okay.
And also just different self-defense experts and safety experts we'd worked with. We knew that pepper spray really is one of the best options because we were open to anything. But pepper spray keeps somebody at a distance. You don't have to be super close. You can be 10 feet away from somebody. And the impact of it really, really hurts.
What were like some of the other things that you were looking at, and how were you doing this research?
We came up with a lot of different ideas just based around what other people had talked about. Oh, like it's hard for me to hold my pepper spray while I'm doing these things. But initially, whenever we started with the pepper spray, it just seemed like a safer option because people already know what it is. We made cute cases for it that they pop out quickly. So we did add some functionality to a common safety tool, but we thought that it would make sense to grow from there. And then all of our future ideas, if they have pepper spray in it, then it's just in addition to the pepper spray line.
And so how long was it until you had the actual first prototype?
For the pepper spray, the singular pepper spray, it was a little over a year. The first thing we sold was stickers and pretty much just family and friends that wanted to support us.
Like stickers?
bought a
And
sticker.
What was the
that
money going
had,
towards? Okay, yeah.
They had like different sayings and like Megan designed all of them, so I'll let her talk about
Yeah,
this.
Margie and I were coming up with different safety phrases. So stuff like stay safe, protect your peace of mind. I think there's one that says bite like a girl that was just like a cute little fang graphic and fun things like that. Safer together that were on brand with safely, but
And you were just doing that to like kind of bide time until a prototype was out for you
I
to
think
sell?
for us, we weren't even thinking about it as a product to sell. It was more so we were just having fun doing branding stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we thought they were cute. And so we're like, oh, we could sell these to start with something.
Like
Nice.
empowering statements. And we had one fight like a girl, but we got a cease and desist.
You did?
From a breast cancer foundation.
Really?
And we had probably sold literally $10 of revenue from that sticker. So we're like, of course, we'll just take it off.
That's
We'll take it off
fine.
the
Yeah.
website.
Okay, so the prototype came, and then you had to start trying to find a way to sell it to people.
Yeah, so the pepper sprays, we wanted to do different like holographic cases in the beginning. We had 3 SKUs and we literally started making them by hand, which sounds crazy.
What,
But-
like putting the holographic tape around it?
Yes, the
Okay.
tape around the case and then putting the pepper spray in the case. And then with the pepper spray lab that we work with too, we wanted to find the very best thing because at the end of the day, we didn't want to just be a cute product, obviously. Like this is safety we're talking about.
Yeah.
Anything we put out there could potentially save somebody's life. And if it doesn't work, then that is the worst case scenario. So we really were mindful about every single step of the process. And so, yeah, we launched the pepper sprays. We started posting, videos about it. I think this day and age, having the access to social media, it's almost like having free ads because you post a video, even if it gets 100 views, that's 100 people that saw it. You do that 7 times a day, that's 700 views. And so we just started there and also just plugged into the community of people that were interested in what we were saying, the safety tips we were sharing. And then like here at UT, bringing events on campus, and we partnered everything we did with something that was considered fun and not frightening. So we do safety and self-care events, and we bring in med spas and things like that. So the students would come get all these goodies, but also learn really incredible tips because we'd bring in a self-defense expert as well to teach them. And we teach them how to use pepper spray.
Yeah, so I think, because nobody really knows how to use it,
Yeah.
I guess.
I think that a lot of people carry pepper spray already. And
They do?
people tell us all the time, I've never used it, which is great. We don't want people having to spray their pepper spray, obviously. And most people, thankfully, will not have to use it. But in a moment where you do need it, you have a few seconds to know how to use it. And you don't want that to be the first time you've ever sprayed it. And that was something we realized whenever we started making these pepper sprays is I wonder what it looks like when you spray it. I wonder how bad it hurts, all these things. And so we didn't spray ourselves with the real one, but
I was
we
going to ask, have you ever sprayed yourself
not
with it?
on purpose.
Yeah, not on purpose.
But we talked to our pepper spray lab And they were able to get us water sprays, which is just something other companies offer too, but they don't highlight as much around the educational aspect and why it's so important to practice using it. And it's kind of fun to do it too. And it makes something that may be scary actually positive in a sense, where you feel empowered and confident.
What is the best way to spray somebody?
Yeah, so we can teach you with pinky, but you want to be as far away as you can, because number one thing is, creating distance. It goes up to 10 feet. So when I say as far away as you can, if you are in that situation and you have more than 10 feet, you should try to run and just not spray. You could still spray because it's going to create like a cloud of pepper that's going to be very, very painful for them to walk through.
But you don't need to get like up a foot
you
away
don't
from
need to
them.
be a foot away. You could be, 6 feet, 7 feet, 8 feet, and you just aim for the eyes, spray, think ear to ear.
Okay, not just like straight in
Not
between
just
their
straight
eyes,
in between
but
their
back
eyes.
and forth.
Back and forth. If you just go straight, it will still work, honestly. But
Sure.
the correct way to do it is ear to ear, and then also with your thumb instead of your pointer finger, because you'll have a better grip on the canister.
Was it hard at first? Like, what was the first store that you went to and pitched?
Yeah, so that's actually funny. So also, when we started Safely, we both had full-time jobs. I was at Charles Schwab, and I was going to go do some research on how we could get Safely into different stores and what the competition looked like. So I'd gone to Target, and then I went to the UT Co-op. I walked in there looking for the pepper spray. I couldn't find it, so I asked one of the girls working there, and she was helping me look, and she couldn't find it. So then she got the store manager, and he was like, oh yeah, so many people keep coming in here looking for it. We're actually sold out, and the supplier's always late on fulfilling the orders. So I'll tell the buyer tomorrow to contact them. Like, this is a great reminder. And I said, well, don't tell the buyer to contact them. Actually, tell the buyer to contact me. And I didn't even have a business card, and I wrote it down on a sticky note. And I went about, my week working in person, and it was like a hybrid Schwab job. And one day when I was working, I got a call from the UT Co-op buyer. Her name is Angie. She no longer works there, unfortunately. But Angie called to let us know that she wanted to place an order for a lot of pepper sprays. And at the time, this was the biggest order we had ever received from, one person. And we did not have boxes that showcased the product. We didn't have legal language on our boxes. We had a lot of work to do that we got done within 2 weeks, pretty much.
Oh my gosh.
We wanted to make sure that we could launch into the co-op with
You literally didn't have the packaging or the legal language on the packaging. You just, at that point, were just selling kind of to friends and family and through a website?
We had packaging, but it didn't have a window, so you couldn't tell the color or what it looked like, and that's one of our big selling points.
How many did you have to make? Do you remember?
We made, I think the first order was close. They did a test run of, I think, 75 units that sold out in less than 2 weeks or less than a week and a half, something crazy. And then they ordered 300 more or something.
So you had 2 weeks to figure out the packaging.
Yes.
Yeah. we still make all of our packaging in Canva and then work with somebody who makes boxes to
So
put it all together.
Are making all the packaging in Canva still.
Yes, we still design it all in house, which I would
When we
love.
say it's Megan designing the
You're
packaging.
designing
Megan's
all the
really good at the
packaging.
packaging.
I would
All
love
design stuff.
I'm not opposed to somebody making it better, but we just know that we only have so much room on this little box. I want to make sure we have as much as we can on it.
So did you get a phone call from Ashley, Megan? You're like, the co-op just ordered, and you were like, what did they order?
At the time I'm at work too, and she tells us. And so I think for a couple weeks after work, we were just working nonstop on stuff. There was one time I was working on the packaging at work, and they weren't mad about it or anything, but someone walked by what are you working on? Because why am I working on a box at a publishing company that says pepper spray?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this is some packaging for my company.
And then where did the sidekick come in? And you brought it, but this is your 5-in-1. It's still patent pending. Do you know how far away you are from a patent?
So I checked this week, actually, and patents can take anywhere from 2 to 3 years, Ashley. So we have to keep waiting. Was the response I received. Which I understand, but I just wish it wouldn't take that long.
Sure. So
Yeah.
this is a device that you guys drew up out of a lot of research and talking to people of what women want, I guess, to carry. Would that be true?
Yes, that's definitely true.
And it has the pepper spray.
Pepper
it has
spray.
a thing that can break glass or just punch somebody. It has a flashlight that can also be like a strobe light, right? It has the alarm that is it really loud?
It's very loud.
Okay. And then it also has the knuckles, but they're not like brass knuckles, but they're plastic and they're still enough to like hurt somebody.
Yes, so the knuckles are more for intimidation.
Okay.
And then we have a strap grip version as well because knuckles aren't legal in every state. But when it came to the sidekick, we wanted to create something that we also would carry, obviously, but that would empower other people to take charge of their safety. And the more research we did, the more we found out too. We were hesitant to make something that really stood out because some people want to have something in their bag or an item like that. But the number one factor when it comes to target selection is likelihood of success. So just by having something in your hand, you're far less likely to be targeted. And then if you are targeted, you already have it in your hand. You're not digging around for it. And if you know how to use it, which is where the practice spray comes in, you really have your best shot of being able to get away safely.
Was there a long list of other things you wanted to add and that you took away?
There were a lot of ideas. I mean, there are a lot of safety products out there. So we were just kind of thinking, let's try to fit let's try to fit as many as we can in the device, but also what do people actually want and what do they carry? What are people not as intimidated by? And ultimately, the most common wants are pepper spray, flashlight, alarm. And we also don't really have the most room, keeping it as compact as possible. So with adding new features and things like that, the device would have to get bigger and bulkier and heavier. So that was part of the thought process behind sticking with those 5 tools at
And
first.
it won a big award, right, this year? Like is the best safety device?
The best pepper spray of 2025 and the best multifunctional safety tool of 2024.
From like a big thing, like, right? Like it's a really good one.
It's like a big safety company that, unless you're in the safety industry, you might have not heard of it, but it's called SafeWise.
Okay, so you said in the beginning that you took the class and you're like, how hard can it be to build a safe company? And I look at y'all and I think y'all are hustling all the time and I'm exhausted just seeing what you're doing all the time. And I feel like you're probably on repeat, like most founders of like, this is my device, here's what it does. And that you're still in the very much educating people and hustling and selling and growing. What's been the hardest part?
That's very accurate for sure, because this is a completely new device, so no one's seen it before, and there's a lot of education that goes into it. And I'd say too, like when it comes to running, the flashlight is just game changer because it's something you want to bring with you, even if you weren't going to bring a pepper spray. So to have it all there in one and have it way lighter than an iPhone, is really something that's great. But I think the hardest part when it comes to safely, there's just so many opportunities of things to do, and it's so much fun building the company, but there are some hurdles we run into that we wish weren't there. But at the end of the day, we just keep plugging along and keep thinking of, hey, these are the items we can control. These are the things we can do to get to the next phase.
Hurdles being like some states don't allow pepper spray.
Yeah.
Or don't allow you to ship pepper spray, right?
And two, like, well, what can we do about it? So in New York, we started a petition, and now a senator there, she actually proposed a bill to change the laws for
so
New York.
that you can sell pepper spray.
So that we can, anyone can ship pepper spray to be delivered to the house.
Oh, wow.
Because it's very hard to find it there. It has to be sold in a licensed dealer currently, which is like a gun store, and they don't have those in New York City. So people literally smuggle pepper spray into New York City. Yes.
Wow. And like, that's a place, I mean, I guess I could see like pepper spray. Is it because they're scared of people spraying it on a subway?
Yeah, they're scared of people. Well, first off, the laws are from like the 90s, so they're not updated. But the initial thought behind it was that people would use it offensively instead of defensively.
Okay. When you guys were here at UT, which was not that long ago, I always like think back to the small moments being the big moments now, the small memories. What were some of your favorite memories while you were here? And I say small things, like for me, it would just be, you know, going and getting a coffee with friends at Mozart's or something like that. Yeah.
When Megan was talking about Dobie, I remember one day after we were working on the class project, she took us to this really cool burrito spot.
Burrito Factory. Yes. It's amazing. If you haven't been, it's still open. I went a couple weeks ago. It's so good.
Where is it? It's at Dobie?
It's in Dobie Mall, so the second floor of Dobie.
Okay.
It's really good. That wasn't like one of my favorite memories, but I was thinking we might need to go get a burrito after this.
For sure. And also too, when about the group project, we always have emotional moments about Einstein's bagels because that's where we worked on our group project. That was always the meeting spot. And so we like to get Einstein's a lot whenever we are on campus for something or if all of our co-founders are in town. Because we spent so many hours in there.
Who was your favorite professor while you were here at UT? The professor that helped you start your business?
I was going to say her for sure. I mean, she was a great professor too, outside of us having
Didn't
this
you TA
great.
for her too?
No, Dana TA.
Oh, okay.
Dana, one of our co-founders, was her TA.
Okay.
as
And what's her
well.
name again?
Elizabeth Goins.
Okay.
Dr. Elizabeth Goins.
Did you have a favorite professor?
I had so many. One of my professors, his name is, it is Mia Vendez, and he was one of my professors my senior year here at UT, and he did entrepreneurial finance. And I remember the first day of his class, he told us that he is also an angel investor. So as a disclosure, he'd be talking about some of the companies he's invested in. So of course, after class, I had to go up to him and pitch him my idea. And he helped us out a ton, and
Yeah.
it was really awesome. And now he's actually currently an investor in Safely.
Oh, that's
it's
so
kind of cool to see full circle. And then Dana and Margie, I'm sure they would say Professor Thurman, who is a mentor for Safely or an advisor for Safely today as well.
Well, thank you guys for coming out. I know you're so busy. I would also say everybody should follow y'all on social. And I know like your LinkedIn, and you guys are so vulnerable and telling stories of failures and successes. But I mean, for me, who's never been an entrepreneur, I think it's just really fun because I feel like you guys have had success, but you have more success to come. And it's fun to watch the ride and like kind of cheer you on and hope that this awesome thing that was created at UT kind of started here, like does go on to like change safety for women, right?
What starts here changes the world.
Yeah. But thank you for coming in and good luck running your marathon.
Thank you so much for having us.